is Wald-et. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT, and I think that's what I'm going to be calling Rebekah Valentine moving forward because of this outfit that she decided to wear, and combine that with how she's just completely up and gone and left social media, disappeared without a trace because she's been caught in a web of lies. And that's what these journalists always do. They just leave instead of being accountable and coming forward and saying, hey, I got this one wrong. We screwed up real bad, and I'm sorry about that. I'm going to try and be better moving forward. What do? The complete opposite. They go and run and hide. And you think that's bad enough, protecting her account and then blockchaining anyone that follows me because she thinks that because people follow me on Twitter that apparently they're all bad people because she doesn't like me, so they must all be just like me. This is how these people think. So she blocked everybody out of her life, created this huge echo chamber on Twitter, and then it wasn't enough. She went into protected mode, and then she updated her profile to say that she's leaving Twitter. Why do all this work? Why not? I know it's really hard to swallow your pride, but why not just make the move of saying, hey, I'm sorry I screwed up. I'm going to be better. Is it really that hard for someone to just say I'm sorry? Well, apparently for a journalist, it's pretty tough. But that's not where this story ends. In fact, it's just the beginning, because what these journos always do in this nose ring mafia is they stick together, even if they're in different outlets. They all protect each other because I like to think that they all know that they're not qualified to do what they do. So when shit hits the fan, they need to make sure that they are covering for each other to save each other's asses so that they can keep the jobs that they have that they're not qualified for. And of course, it's Alyssa Mercante coming to the rescue. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article talking about how Rebekah Valentine has just up and gone like a fart in the wind. She has disappeared. Alyssa Mercante is coming to the rescue to say how everyone is just getting it wrong about her, and everyone's just such a big meanie. I've covered this controversy a couple times, but just a quick refresher. Valentine and her colleague Ki Hu-chan, who are already members of Kotaku Detected, previously falsely accused the developers at Game Science of sexism and inappropriate behavior. Their narrative has completely crumbled as the game continues to soar in popularity, becoming the second most played game on Steam based on concurrent players ever. Like, I still can't, it blows my mind. Like, I thought it was going to be like maybe 500,000 players. Like, that would have blown my mind at launch, you know? No, within the first 12 hours of launch, we've had a max hit over 2.2 million concurrent players worldwide, which is honestly unheard of, especially when you compare it to, I don't know, games like Dustborn that have a max player count of like 26 players soaking wet. It's just really funny. Chinese gamer Fei Fi, who I covered in a previous video, confirmed the existence of some of the crude recruitment posters, but pointed out that while the developers' past behavior was certainly could be looked at as unprofessional, it didn't amount to sexism, as Valentine and Chan had tried to claim. If anything, it was just mistranslated because Chan is Korean, not Chinese, and doesn't speak fluent Mandarin. So there was just an issue with the translation. Whether it was on purpose or by accident, it doesn't really matter. The truth is, they got it wrong, and they are not being accountable about it. Valentine's bio now reads, no longer on Twitter, don't DM. I had to locate it from logging out because of course she has me blocked, and as everyone was saying, they've never even interacted with her, and they're all blocked because they follow me. That sure sounds like someone with a strong stance on life where they just block everyone to make sure they're in an echo chamber. Nothing wrong with that. But the story doesn't end with Valentine because of course not. This is a club, and they all have to protect each other. Enter Alyssa Mercante, the disgraced activist over at Kotaku, who has been coping with the fallout seething at me behind a block as she attempts to cover for her friend. Her tweets are part of a broader pattern where journalists within certain circles band together to shield each other from the consequences of their actions. Instead of being accountable, they try to shield, protect, and then project everything they got wrong on everyone else. Grums on Twitter said, the author of the infamous IGN hit piece on Black Myth Wukong tries to hide. Her article was based on mistranslations and smears. When she was called out, she doubled down, and her circle jerk journalist friends all defended her terrible false work. And I quote tweeted saying, people that do things like this and leave it up are pure evil. Don't let their smiles to your face fool you. Akin to Alyssa, Jessica, Nick, and so many others, Rebekah is not a good person, nor does she have the best interest of the video game industry in mind. And I genuinely feel that way. Someone who is not going to be accountable for their mistakes and tries to project on other people to make them feel bad about what they got wrong, in my humble opinion, is not a good person. And of course, Alyssa, even though she has me blocked, unblocked me to quote tweet me. And this doesn't even make sense. I don't know what she's trying to say, but I guess when she's coping and seething, it's not gonna make much logical sense. Not that she makes logical sense otherwise, but anyways, turns out you do not need to deal with incredibly stupid middle-aged men calling you evil for doing your job. A job about video games. Okay, that's a bunch of words put together. This is supposed to be like a professional editor or someone who writes, a journalist at a professional outlet. This is like someone in third grade writing a tweet. What does this even mean? And she wasn't done with that. She continued, if you want to step away from social media to focus on your life and your job, you have every right to. So right there, coping and seething and trying to make everyone else the enemy while you play the victim. Hey, I made an article. It wasn't even a mistake. I made an article and the whole internet's out to get me. And everyone's just awful out there. So I'm going to take a break, a personal step back from all of this because I need to clear my head because everyone out there is just awful. Instead of just saying, hey, maybe everyone's upset at me because I did something really bad. They haven't won because they are mean-spirited, unemployed, and ugly on the inside and out. Holy crap. I mean, that is straight up projection textbook. Like, that is exactly who Alyssa Mercante is. And she's putting it down on a tweet to make herself feel like everyone else is the problem. It is classic projection. Like, there's nothing else besides psychological disorders that are obviously impacting her. Projection all the way. Valentine's retreat is a telling sign of how badly the smear campaign against game science has backfired. IGN is now trying to pretend like they didn't even attempt to attack game science in the first place, with their latest tweet completely ignoring everything they did before and saying, Black Myth Wukong is already Steam's most played single-player game of all time. IGN, Black Myth Wukong. Yeah, this game's great. Everyone's loving it. It's awesome. Oh yeah, we're the same outlet that tried to slander this entire organization into the ground, but don't worry about what we did before, even though we're leaving that article up, not retracting it, not apologizing about it. We're just going to move forward and pretend like nothing happened. Grum said, after trying to kill the game with hit piece after hit piece, IGN is trying to pretend they were big fans all along. Disgusting. And honestly, that's the best way you could put it. This is abhorrent journalism. Not holding themselves accountable. Not coming forward and apologizing. Not trying to make it right. Not holding their own journalists that they employ accountable for their actions and saying, hey, we understand people make mistakes. It happens. We will do better. We will ensure we will do proper work and research to make sure that this is limited and doesn't happen again moving forward. That's really all it takes. But they refuse to apologize because they don't want to come across as an untrustworthy site. And if you make a mistake and have to do that, that's a big deal. Despite the coordinated efforts to tarnish developers' reputation, the success of Black Myth Wukong has only grown in the first day of launch with over 2.2 million concurrent players on Steam. And that doesn't even count PlayStation 5 and not even on Xbox yet. Like, this game is just insanity. And I played a little bit last night. I downloaded it after I made my video. I had to. It's awesome. Like, it really is a fun game. The initial battle, the first 20, 30 minutes of the game that is just mind-blowing stuff. I can't wait to get back to it. And yeah, it deserves it. It's a good game. It deserves to be played. It deserves the attention it's getting. And it just goes to show that these hit pieces coming from the nose ring mafia trying to take down Game Science, all because allegedly Game Science refused to sign on with a consultancy group, okay? It's all been exposed for all to see here. And because of that, Game Science is successful, and you love to see it. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. If you appreciate what I'm doing, please consider hitting that join button. I would genuinely appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Smash,